Let's do the mid-year freakout tag. I've seen Sarah Caroli, Larry Reeves, Olivia Reads a Latte. I've seen them all do it, so let's go ahead and try it out. So the first prompt is best book you've read in 2023, and for me, that would have to be Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This was such an amazing story. I know everybody's been hyping it up, but it really is worth the hype. It is romantasy, but it has great plot. You're really rooting for the main character. Good disability representation in here, and I am so excited that this is a series. I really enjoyed the action. The dragons had personalities. Everything about this story was just so worth it to me, so I loved it. I love the ending, and I can't wait until November when Iron Flame comes out. The next prompt is the best sequel you've read in 2023, and for me that has to be all of these books from the Throne of Glass series. Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. They were all fantastic reads, and I was so sad but so happy with the ending of this series. It's a very long series. I spent a lot of time on it, but they were all so worth it. I did the tandem read for these two books, and it was definitely the way I would recommend reading them. And then Kingdom of Ash was almost 1,000 pages of just pure excitement and action and wrapping everything up in a way that made me happy, made me sad. I cried my eyes out. I couldn't breathe for a second, but these were all so amazing. I couldn't recommend this series more. If you're looking to get into fantasy, a little bit of romance, definitely more of the politics in this series than in the other ACOTAR series that Sarah J Maas has. But I loved it and found it so worth it. The next prompt is the new release that you haven't read yet but you want to, and I have two books for this as well. So this is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I think that this is going to be so good because I read The Dead Romantics in 2022, and that was a 5-star read for me. I loved her banter. The way that she wrote was so relatable, and it had kind of a paranormal piece to it, which was just really interesting. I don't read a ton of books like that, so I thought it would be kind of weird, but I really liked it, and I think we're gonna get something very similar in this. I've heard good things, so I can't wait to pick this one up. The second new release that I can't wait to read is The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. I think that this is gonna be so amazing. I read The Push by her in 2022 and found it just chilling and disturbing, but I couldn't put it down, and I think I'm gonna get something similar with this as well. So definitely two releases that I can't wait to pick up. The next prompt is the biggest surprise that you've read this year, and for me, that was Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This was a book that I really struggled to pick up. I had it on my TBR for 3 months straight before I could finally convince myself to pick it up, but it was so worth it, and I was so glad that I did. I heard a lot of mixed reviews on this book. Some people either really liked it, you either really liked it or you really did not like it, but I was one of the ones that really enjoyed it. This was so good to me. It was lyrical, and it really is a love story, but it's not like a big romance. It is the concept of love, and the writing was just so beautiful. Just two very different people who find themselves in each other, and I loved every second of it. I can't wait to read more by her because her writing was just amazing. The next prompt is a new author, either new to you or debut, and for me that was Rachel Lynn Solomon. I read Weather Girl by her first, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the best romance that I've ever read, but I really enjoyed the different concepts within it. It speaks a lot about her identity and religion, but also had great mental health representation. And the romance was really nice too, so I really enjoyed this. It was super fun. It had great weather puns, obviously, but I also picked up the X Talk by her, and then her newest release was Business or Pleasure, and I am so excited about both of these books. I am a little teed that they did not match in size, but oh, do they? Never mind. They do. Yes, she's been really fun to read, so I am very excited to pick up her other two books. The next prompt is the newest fictional crush, and I really enjoyed Xaden from Fourth Wing. I don't want to repeat many books, but he was so supportive of Violet throughout her journey as she was trying to get into the school and facing all the different challenges that she did as somebody who had a slight disability and was basically guaranteed almost to die trying to get through this school. He helped her. He built different things so that the courses and the dragon was more suitable towards her. It was really amazing to see somebody who believed in her and wanted the best for her and doing things that would help her, other than like Dane in here, who was just like, please get out so that I don't have to worry about you anymore. So I really enjoyed him for this. But I also loved Dr. River Pena from the Soulmate Equation. He was broody and lovely and very caring, and I thought he was fantastic. The next prompt is books that made you cry, and I won't lie, I get a little weepy during books anyway, but just like a single tear or two. But these two books made me absolutely bawl my eyes out. I had to put the book down to blow my nose because it was just disgusting for a minute. But that was definitely Kingdom of Ash, like I said, by Sarah J. Maas. The people who know I just could not handle what happened in here for a second. It was so emotional. You have followed these characters for so long, and then that happens. So that was just insane to me, but it made it so good. So this one definitely caused a lot of tears. The other standalone that caused a lot of tears was These Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. And this is a suspense novel where a father and daughter have moved out to this isolated part of the woods, and basically because of the father's past have been removed from civilization. So this story kind of follows them as some trouble creeps to their neck of the woods, and follows them as they either have to re-enter society or choose to keep fleeing. So this was very unexpected for how emotional it was. I also had to put the book down because I just had tears streaming. I couldn't see straight anymore. And it's less than 300 pages. So to feel that kind of emotional connection to characters, it was just crazy. I loved it. It was so good, and definitely not as much of a thriller, definitely suspenseful, but really, really enjoyable nonetheless. The next prompt is books that made you happy, and that was definitely The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren and The True Love Experiment. I thought that these books were just so fun and so just exciting, but also I love that they were kind of following older women. And I say older women, I mean like mid-30s, who just have their life more so figured out, and they are looking for something serious and have all these life experiences that just make them more mature characters. I thought that that was really entertaining, and then the love interest in both are very solid. It's not, I guess, like miscommunication tropes or anything like that. It's really these bigger elements that make the conflict way more believable and the resolution so much more worth it. So I love these books. The friendships, the love interest, the plot, all of it just made me happy. So I definitely recommend this series. The next prompt is the most beautiful books that you have bought or received this year, and for me that is definitely Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. These are the UK versions, and they are so pretty and so magical. I love them so much. I placed an order from Blackwell's in the UK and was so excited to get my hands on both of these. I read these last year in 2022, and these are just very magical books. So I didn't feel like the US covers did it justice very much. So I was so excited to get the two of these. They are just amazing, and I love the stories. They were just so good for me. And I cannot wait for A Curse for True Love to come out. And the last prompt is books that you need to get to by the end of this year, and I have so many books that I want to get to by the end of this year. But first off, I will start with the romance section. I want to read the Magnolia Parks universe. I have heard nothing but good, well, I'll rephrase that. I have heard either you really enjoy the series or you really don't. I personally have never watched Gossip Girl, and I've heard it equated to that a lot, but I think that I'm going to love this nonetheless. Also, I was so excited to get the indie, I guess, published covers before they had the cover change. I think that these are just works of art, and I am very excited to jump into this series. From the more literary fiction perspective, I still need to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Again, this was a huge hit last year. It was so exciting, but I just haven't picked it up or gravitated towards literary fiction as much this year, but I just need to pick it up because I have heard just amazing things about it. And then lastly, for the fantasy section of books that I need to get to by the end of this year, The Serpent and the Wings of the Night by Carissa Broadbent. Again, have heard nothing but good things about this. I've heard it equated to ACOTAR, but I have also heard that that is not the way to do it either. So I've heard that it's just a good romance fantasy plot and you just kind of get sucked in. So I am very excited to get to this and am very hopeful about it. So that is the mid-year freakout tag. I have really enjoyed this and I hope you all have too. I'm going to leave the prompts in the description down below in case you want to try it out as well. But yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you all next time.